This morning, I found a sealed envelope sitting on my keyboard when I walked into the office. My name was written on the front. No department. No return address. Just my first and last name, in blue ballpoint. Inside was a resignation letter. But it wasn't addressed to HR. It wasn't addressed to my manager. It was addressed to me. And whoever wrote it was already gone before I even opened it. I work at a mid-sized insurance company. Third floor of an office building built in the late 70s. I've been there 5 months. My desk is in the corner, right next to the emergency exit. It's not a good desk. The light above me flickers. The heating vent clicks constantly. But rent in this city is brutal. The job pays fine. So I show up and I sit there and I do my work. This past Monday, I arrived at 8:15 like always. And there it was. A white envelope sitting right on my keyboard. I opened it and pulled out a single typed page. And I'm going to read you what it said, word for word, because I've read it so many times by now that I know most of it by memory. And because I need someone outside that building to know what it said. This is not a formal resignation letter, even though I am resigning today. This letter is for you. I am sorry I did not write it sooner. The writer said they had worked in the building for 4 years. On a different floor, a different corner. But every morning they passed my desk on the way to the stairwell. And they had learned to watch it. Their words, the way you watch a trap you cannot disarm. They told me 3 people sat at my desk before me. The first lasted 8 months. The second, 5. The third, 11 weeks. Then they said, the lights above your desk will flicker. They already do. You've already mentioned it to someone. I know because everyone who sits there mentions it within the first 2 months. And then it got worse. They said I would start losing time. Small chunks. 10, 15, 20 minutes. I'd look at my screen and the clock would be further ahead than I remembered. I'd assume I zoned out. But they said, you were not focused on work. You were gone. Not asleep. Not distracted. Gone. You'll find no trace of those minutes anywhere. No emails sent. No documents saved. No browser history. Nothing. Your badge will show you never left the floor. But you weren't there. Then they said the dreams would start. And here is the part that stopped my blood cold. They said, do not describe them to anyone. Not a friend. Not a therapist. Not online. The dreams are how it maps you. When you talk about them, you give it a signal to follow. That urge to tell someone? That urge is not yours. That urge is part of it. The letter said they spent 3 years trying to find out what was happening. The building was built in 1978. Before it, a smaller office complex. Before that, a house. They couldn't find records on the house. The county said the parcel records were damaged in a flood in 1991. They didn't believe that. They believed someone removed them. My corner desk sits directly above, a spot that corresponds to a specific room in that original house. They don't know what happened in that room. They only know it left something behind. Not in the building. In the ground. Beneath the foundation. Beneath the concrete. Beneath the carpet. Beneath my chair. It is below you right now. It has always been below that desk. The building was built on top of it. I do not think the builders knew. I think it was already waiting when they poured the foundation. Then they told me about the 3 people before me. The first quit and moved out of state. She doesn't remember working there. Doesn't remember the desk. Has a 2-year gap in her resume she cannot explain. Confused by it in a way that doesn't look like someone who simply forgot a job. The second was fired for falling asleep at his desk constantly. He told HR the dreams followed him home, and he felt safer sleeping at his desk. He said that out loud to his manager. They let him go the next week. On his last day, the letter writer watched him from the window, sitting in his car in the parking lot, engine off, staring at the building, for 4 straight hours. Then he drove away. They never saw him again. The third is still in the building, 4th floor, and the letter told me exactly how to recognize her. I checked my emails. I went back through 5 months of timestamps. There are 14 gaps. Windows of 10 to 25 minutes where my sent folder is empty. My browser history is blank. And my badge shows no movement. I was logged in. I was at my desk. But I did nothing that left a trace. I didn't notice any of them until today. At lunch, I went to the 4th floor. I didn't need to ask which cubicle was hers. The woman sitting next to her was leaning away. Slightly. Not consciously, just a few extra inches. The way your body moves from something without telling your brain why. She looked exactly like the letter described. Dark circles, so deep they looked structural. Not like someone who missed sleep last night. Like someone who has been running on half sleep for years, and it has settled into her bones. Her left eye was slightly more open than her right. I sat down across from her and said, I sit at the desk on the third floor. The corner one, by the emergency exit. She didn't look surprised. She set down what she was holding and looked at me for a long moment. Then she said, How long? 5 months, I said. Have the dreams started? Not yet, I said. They will. When they do, do not describe them to anyone. Not out loud. Not in writing. Not even in your own head if you can help it. The more shape you give them, the more real they become. I asked her what it was.